Hey y'all, Moses here. Today we're going to be looking at Spreeezy. This guy was recommended to me in the last comments of the Choco Taco video, and I thought that I would take a look at some of his gameplay. Now, he is a rank 1 player, or at least he has been in the past, so that counts. He was rank 1 at one point, so he's rank 1 to me, damn it. So he is a very highly skilled player. He's a European player. He streams both Twitch and YouTube. Links to those are in the description below. I reached out to him and he said, yep, take a look at my stuff. So we're gonna be looking at a 15 kill game here. Just a little bit of context. He is going for crates in this game, but there's a decent amount of action, and I've done it a bit differently. There will be no pausing. I'll just kind of be giving my live commentary and pointing at stuff as I go along. So I might talk over some of the stuff he says. But if you like this style of video, just let me know down in the comments. And if you'd rather me pause and draw on the screen and talk a little bit more in depth, let your voice be heard as well. So I'm going to jump right in. I hope you guys enjoy the video. And yeah, I'll see you out there.
All right, what is this guy doing?
All right, so we've landed in the diner. He's got one guy on him. So positioning himself to watch the window if he ever comes across. Right now he's just looting up, trying to get ready, get situated, and get himself ready to fight anyone in Severny here. So Severny is an interesting spot. A lot of windows, generally popular depending on the plane path. And realistically, all you have to do is just get a decent weapon and be ready to fight house to house and be looking at windows. So one thing you notice right away is that he's always looking to the last kind of area where he saw an enemy. He doesn't know exactly where he is. He's just heard him reload and saw him up in the window.
Damn. Nice try.
Good first kill. The enemy kind of wide peeked a little bit too hard there, and Spreeezy knocks him out fairly easily.
Yeah, the crane inspector challenge. Oh. The plane. Well, hopefully it didn't drop already. That wouldn't be nice. Oh! Wow! I actually have a chance of taking this one. But I heard shots right there. Okay, right there. There is some shots. Someone's next to me.
So something to note about this game, Spreeezy has identified that he's going for all the airdrops he can, so it might be a little bit of a different game as far as style goes, but it should make for some decent action. So he's already seen a buggy pull up on his right. He's now looking down to see if there's anybody kicking around looking at this crate.
Alright, you loot, I kill.
So one habit you see a lot of players do is that instead of looking at the crate right now, he's looking around to see if anyone else is running up, because the crate has just hit the ground. So players who might have been nearby on foot might be running this way. So that's what he's doing. He's taking a look around, making sure that the initial approach to the crate is relatively clear, because once you're on the crate, you're kind of in this very obvious zone where players can get eyes on you. And there's another good example as to why he's doing that. That player ran up from an angle he didn't even look at, and he's able to take him out without really putting himself in too much danger, because he's essentially on the defensive stance right now, and just kind of bouncing around, because again, it could take up to 30 to 40 seconds for players who are coming for this crate to show up nearby.
Look at that guy down there.
guess the added benefit as well is that players will just kind of jump onto the crate and give you all this loot to loot in one big area. Now he's under attack, probably from down the hill. He's positioned himself to use the crate as cover. But he has lots of good gear now. He's got the level 3 helmet and whatnot. So let's see if he can handle the aggression.
This guy's a freaking pain. Well, I didn't take. Did take.
Oof. So that Jeep is driven by as well. He might be looking for that, but right now I think he's kind of made some errors with his looting, so he's trying to fix that. A couple of sniper attachments he's looking to pick up. You know, again, he's under pressure, so he's not going to be able to retrieve everything out of those crates. Kind of sucks, but that's just the position he's been put in. Oh, dang. So, the Mark 14 will one-shot level 1 helmets at that range, and does generally increase damage over the SKS, which is its nearest cousin, I guess you could call it. Very powerful weapon, and in the hands of someone who knows how to use it, the increased bullet velocity will also do a lot of favors. So now he's able to pick up the stuff he missed the first time around, but still with all these crates on the ground, it's kind of a slow looting process. He does have some extra stuff that I'm not sure why he's retaining. He might be looking to switch out to an M416 or SCAR if he finds one, but right now he hasn't seen it yet.
I need to go for more drops, right? I'm not done. Press that like button. Let's go. Now we're try hard mode. Kinda. What? Let's go.
So it looks like that's the player that was at the yellow cabin.
No, I'm getting shot from two sides.
Oh, interesting use of the smoke here. I like it. So he's got this player pressing with the rock, and he throws a smoke down to prevent the car from getting him from behind. Quick scan behind to make sure he hasn't been pressed.
Getting car-98 from the back.
Not sure why he's not going for a nade right here. The guy might be too close.
What?
This is a tough fight for him. It sounds like there's a pistol, like a silenced pistol nearby as well. Nice. So good pre-fire on the rock as the guy's kind of bouncing back and forth. So putting pressure on the rock in that way allows the enemy player to kind of walk into the fire without having to wait to see him. So that's a better position to be in than trying to react to peaks, because in this game you get kind of an advantage, like the peeker advantage.
From both the top side and bottom side. Damn.
So when I mean peeker's advantage, is basically that means that if they see you before you see them, so they peek first, the server side latency compensation kind of gives the peeker that advantage. And now he's back in the same position again, getting pressure from two sides. He was unable to finish that other kill. Luckily, that guy was in a bad spot.
What is this?
So now he needs to look back down towards that other player, who's probably healing because he took 2 shots from the Mark 14. And again, the Mark 14 will 3-shot basically any level of armor. So very powerful in that way as well.
Cannot land these shots. What? Another guy?
Oof.
So many! Incredible.
Dang, that is a that's a nice shot.
Jesus. Armor's gone again. Oh, he evaporated in 2 hits?
SAT Bagmu UE.
Moji, thank you. Oh god, this game.
This guy down the hill has been shot repeatedly over and over again. I guess that's the last time, but I'm not sure why he never pressed up the hill.
Yeah, I have to go for it, right? But I don't have a car. That buggy's broken. Damn. Let's say I don't like it. Oh, come on. I cannot go there. Guys, I cannot go there. That's way too far.
This is a decent vantage, especially down to where he's looking right now. There's not a lot of cover there, and he's got the high ground. The only problem is that if people come up that side on the left there with the trees and the kind of ridges, they can get around on the road and flank. But the zone is going to start to pressure anybody who hasn't left the Razak side of this river yet. And he's just kind of scanning around to see if people are there. See, there's one right there. Oh,
What?
man.
How did he go crouch?
He just missed. I hate that. I hate when that happens. I feel you, Spreeezy. The random crouch at the very last second.
This guy is very Gosu. Now you got wrecked by a Tommy gun or something.
Moji, just wish you something very nasty. Probably you just killed him in the game.
Thanks, Miyahi.
It was a close one as well.
Times.
I thought he hit him twice there,
4
but
shots.
he might have got a bandage off or something like that. It's a relatively safe spot. Based on the information he's probably gathered at this point, he recognized that most of the players are going to be to his west and northwest. Except for that guy. Just late to the zone.
Don't come in with a car. Just park down below.
This is a nice area of the map. This is one of my favorite areas to kind of have an endgame circle. It's too bad that these ridges aren't in because they're excellent cover. Those buildings are out and so are the ridges though. So typically what you want to avoid is having the buildings be in and the ridges be out. But you can kind of play both sides and there's lots of trees and cover around here. So if you find yourself in this area, using these ridges, like the ones he's looking at, the ones he's standing on, are almost ideal compared to the buildings, but the buildings are good too. Don't get me wrong. But really, you don't really want to run through this big open field if given the option. But he has to get to the zone and get a good position here.
Goes up there.
So he's more interested in who might be coming into the zone behind him than the guy who's shooting at him because he knows where he is. He can at least kind of pinpoint and look for movement that way. But, you know, hearing a gunshot and not being killed allows you to position in a way that at least he can't shoot you. But the guys you don't see are the real problem.
Very bad what I'm doing.
Maybe a little bit too patient here. Might just be waiting for the zone to change. Because you can hear that fighting to his south and southwest. Not sure on the pathing here. I don't know if he's trying to bait shots or if he's just being a little indecisive, but I think he might be going to look for the remnants of that gunfight he just heard. Just to see how close they are, maybe.
Why is he not peeking?
So yeah, he's still worried about this guy with the Kar 98. Pushing the gap a little bit, but also looking for decent cover. Right now, there isn't a whole lot, so just kind of sticking around the trees. Maybe baiting shot. I really don't know. I think he's just kind of concerned that he hasn't seen this guy in a while. The guy with the Kar 98 specifically.
I don't know where he is, but if I start shooting, I'm dead.
So that's a good call out. He knows where he is, but if he starts shooting,
him.
he's dead because he's got a big open area behind him. So he's just trying to manage his audio output right now. So that's an important thing to manage, especially in the late game when you don't have a ton of info as to where people are. He can't shoot back right now.
Wow, he's... Okay, guys, you see... What this guy's doing? This is pure stupidity, okay? See?
So he's used that. That's a great example. So what the guy was doing was firing unnecessarily.
Okay. Bit of potato aim.
And because of that, someone else came and flanked him and took him out. So Spreeezy called that out right away. He's like, what this guy's doing is stupidity. It's because he's just firing away, giving away a ton of information, and someone's like doing exactly what Spreeezy was trying to avoid, which is getting flanked. So he just got flanked, and the Kar 98 guy is dead now. Good circle.
But it's low ground. Oh, not the prettiest position.
I think that was a headshot. So yeah, he fires wildly there just to kind of make up for the headshot, and he gets another one. So that was the guy that killed the Kar 98, and now it's a 1v1v1. Now it's a 1v1. So I've said it a million times, try not to be the last guy, or try not to be the first guy to shoot in a 1v1v1. So now Spreeezy knows exactly where that guy was, and he immediately moves to go find him. Nice.
We won the game finally.
Nice. So there's a couple of key takeaways that I think that Spreeezy really exhibited well. I'll see if I can jump back to one really quick here. The first one is, at least for the end game, just to kind of show you a brief concept here as far as how you position yourself. So you can kind of see here down in the minimap, and I'll try and blow this up in post, but he's at the outer edge of the circle. Like, he didn't take up the middle. He's basically positioned himself to look out from here. So what that means is that if this guy decides to camp, so if he's camping over here and he just waits, Spreeezy is holding the edge of the zone, so he would have to come to him. So even if he camps over here, that's fine. All Spreeezy has to do is just kind of hold this portion of the zone, like right where he's standing, and just wait for players to then approach, or the remaining player to approach from a direction over here. But because he's heard the shots, he's got a pretty good idea as to where he is. So all he needs to do is just kind of hang out and wait for this guy to either make a decision to move or to peek up here or something like that. So really good end game positioning there. Other than that, I was really happy with his patience throughout the game. I think that's something that only comes with some level of experience. Just being patient in relation to taking a multiple participant gunfight as he did in the mid game. Throwing down that smoke was a neat little nuanced move that a lot of players, even myself, wouldn't even think of, to throw smoke at my own feet to manage the sight lines onto myself in a multiple person fight. So something to take away there, obviously, is just kind of using your kit to the best of your ability, managing the sight lines onto your position, depending on what's happening. Because a lot of the game actually took place in this area where he was kind of fighting down the hill and fighting up the hill. So this little kind of spot where he was between the rock and this tree is a really nice little spot to find where he can have cover from both sides. So yeah, good patience from Spreeezy, really good skill, obviously good aim as well, using the Mark 14 to the best of his ability. And managing his cover and being patient. Those are all hallmarks of really excellent players. This was a very, very tough fight for him. He had shots coming from both angles. And again, here you can see, just throw down the smoke. Just throw in that smoke, manage the sight lines, kind of make a little bit of distance between you and the first aggressor. And ultimately kind of pulling out the win. So I'll let this play out. This has been a fun episode. I'm glad that Spreeezy was happy to provide me this footage to look at. Really entertaining game. And if you guys have any suggestions for the next individual you'd like to take a look at, leave a comment down below. Like the video if you liked it. And any other comments you have on this series or anything you'd like to see from PUBG Breakdown in the future, just let me know. And don't forget, you can submit your own videos to PUBG Breakdown. There is a link, instructions down in the description if you want to do that for yourself. I'd like to take a look at the everyman player as well, rather than just the top level streamers. But ultimately, I think this type of gameplay is good for everybody. So if you don't want to submit your own footage, check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/wtfmoses. We can talk about strategy there, something I like to do during my streams. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter @wtfmoses. So thank you guys for hanging out today and watching PUBG Breakdown. And until next time, I'll see you out there.